Now let's discuss next topic of module 1, capital market in India. So before that, we need to understand the concept. What is the capital market? Capital market is a market where buyers and sellers engage in trade of financial securities like bonds, stocks, etc. The buying and selling is undertaken by participants such as individual and institution. So there is an individual as well as institutions. Capital market help channelize surplus funds, excess funds from savers to institution, which then invest them into productive use. Generally, these market trades mostly in long-term securities. So this is all of capital market. Capital market consists of primary markets and secondary market. So what is the primary and secondary market? Primary market deal with the trade of new issues of stocks and other securities. For example, IPO, initial public offer comes in primary market, whereas secondary market deals with the exchange of existing or previously issued securities. Another important division in the capital market is made on the basis of the nature of security traded, that is stock market and bond market. Now the next topic, concept of investment banks and its role and functions. So what is an investment bank? An investment bank raises capital money in the form of debt and equity for companies and advises them on financing and merger alternatives. Investment banks sell securities like debt and equity to investors in order to raise the capital. These securities are then traded in the global financial markets. For example, Ford wants to open a new car factory. Okay, it requires money to build the factory. An investment bank will advise Ford what type of funds to raise and then go to investors to raise the money. Suppose Ford wanted to buy another car manufacturer, perhaps to increase its exposure to Asia. Okay, an investment bank would evaluate car manufacture in Asia that Ford might be able to buy. It would then help Ford decide how much to pay, because determining a company's value is complicated. Now, what is the role of an investment bank? Investment bank serve several purposes in the financial and investment world, including underwriting new stock issues, handling mergers and acquisition, and acting as a financial advisors. Other roles of investment banks include asset management for large investment funds and personal wealth management for high net worth individual. So some of the major investment banks include Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase and Credit Suisse. Role of investment banks include underwriting of new stock issues, handling mergers and acquisitions, and acting as financial advisor. Major investment banks include Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and Credit Suisse. So investment banks help corporations obtain debt financing by finding investors for corporate bonds. Investment bank guide corporation when going public, raising capital, and through mergers and acquisition. Now, The next one is how investment bank work as their core function. Investment bank help corporation obtain debt financing by finding investors for corporate bonds. The investment bank's role begins with pre-underwriting counseling and continues after securities distribution in the form of advice. The investment bank will also examine the company's financial statements for accuracy and publish a prospectus that explains the offering to our investors before the securities are made available for purchase. Investment bank clients include corporations, pension funds, other financial institutions, governments, and hedge funds. The best investment banks are usually the largest. The more the connection the bank has within the market, the more likely or possibly it is to the profit. The largest investment banks have clients around the globe. Underwriting new stock issues. One of the primary roles of an investment bank is to serve as sort of intermediary between corporation and investors through initial public offerings, that is IPOs. Banks provide underwriting services for new stock issues when a company decides to go public and seeks equity funding. Underwriting basically involves the investment bank purchasing as agreed upon number of shares of the new stock, which it then resells through a stock exchange. Now, the next one is part of the investment bank job is to evaluate a company and determine a reasonable price at which to offer stock shares. IPO, especially for larger companies, commodity involve more than one investment bank. This way, the risk of underwriting is spread across several banks, reducing the exposure of any single bank and require a relatively lower financial commitment to the IPO. Investment bank also act as underwriters for corporate bond issues. Now next is financial advisory role. Investment bankers act as several different advisory capacity for their clients. In addition to handling IPOs, investment banks offer corporations advice on taking the company public or raising capital through alternatives means. So investment bank regularly advise their clients on all aspects of financing. Now next one is mergers and acquisition. Handling mergers and acquisitions is a major functions of investment bankers. As with IPOs, one of the main areas of expertise for an investment bank is its ability to evaluate the worth of possible acquisition and arrive at a fair price. An investment bank can also help structure and facilitate the acquisition to make the deal go as smoothly as possible. This is all about investment bank. Now let's discuss next topic, stock market index. What is an index? A stock market index is also known as stock index. So a stock index is a statistical measures that reflect changes in taking place in the market. It's created by grouping a few similar stocks among the securities listed on the exchange, and the selection criteria could be the size of company, its market capitalization or type of industry. Change in prices of underlying securities impacts the overall value of the index. If prices rises, the index will rise, and if they go down, so will the index. Now, why do we need indices? The plural form of index is indices, INDICES. So stock indices are required to know the mood and sentiment prevailing in the market. As an investor, you can identify the market's pattern by looking at the indices and use it to decide which stock can prove to be a winning bet. Apart from helping you to zero in on the stock to invest, indices also act as the barometer for peer comparison. If any stock has given higher returns than the indices, it's said to have outperformed it. On the other hand, it has given lower returns, it's said to have underperformed. So stock indices also add or help you in identifying trends of a particular sector and take investment decisions accordingly. They also help you to make passive investment, that is investing in a portfolio of securities that closely resembles the index. With passive investment, you can cut down on the cost of research and selection process of equities. Now next topic is types of indices in Indian stock market. Some of the common types of indices in Indian stock market are as follows. Benchmark indices like BSE Sensex and Nifty, NSE Nifty. Broad-band indices like Nifty 50 and BSE 100 market. These market capitalization based indices such as BSE Mid Cap, BSE Small Cap. Yes. So sectorial indices such as CNX IT, Nifty FMCG, Nifty Bank Index, S&P, BSE Oil and Gas, etc. Apart from these thematic indices are other types of indices in Indian stock market which reflect the performance of broad-based investment themes. So the Nasdaq. What is the Nasdaq? Nasdaq is a global electronic marketplace for buying and selling securities. Nasdaq was created by the National Association of Securities Dealers to enable investors to trade securities on a computerized, speedy and transparent system, and commenced operation on February 8, 1971. The term Nasdaq is also used to refer the Nasdaq Composite, an index of more than 3,000 stocks listed on Nasdaq exchange that includes the world's foremost technology and biotech giants such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, Oracle, Amazon, Intel. Now, Nasdaq is a global electronic marketplace for buying and selling trading securities. It was the world's first electronic exchange. Most of the world's technologies giants including Apple and Facebook are listed on the Nasdaq. It operates in 25 markets, one clearing house, and 5 capital securities depositories in the US and Europe. So Nasdaq was initially an acronym for the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations. Now let's discuss next topic of module 1, NSDL. So what is the NSDL? NSDL, basically a bank holds the investor money while the NSDL keep stocks, shares, bonds and other classes of security. NSDL stands for National Securities as D for Depository Alpha Limited. So National Securities Depository Limited. It is India's oldest and largest depository. The term depository refers to the organization meant for holding and safeguarding the securities that are traded in the security market. It contains the security in electronic form as opposed to the previous method of recording paper transaction of shares, bonds and other financial instruments. The NSDL, that is National Securities Depository Limited, can be compared to a bank. A bank holds the investor money while the NSDL keeps stocks, shares, bonds and other class of securities. When investor purchase securities, they are automatically credited to the depositor account. And when those securities are sold, they are automatically debited from the depository account. So credited and debited in depository account automatically. Now similarly, if a company wants to know about the investor information for awarding dividends, rights or any other notification, it will ask the depository about the investor's details. Now next topic is benefits of holding an account in NSDL. The investor and the companies enjoy numerous benefits due to NSDL holding of financial instruments. Now first one is immediate transfer and registration of securities. As the securities are held in the electronic form, it is easy to transfer the securities between buyer and seller very easily. Usually, the transfer of securities takes a minimum of 2 and 4 months, however, in electronic form. Once the legality of ownership is confirmed, the securities are immediately transferred to the buyer's depository account. And the next benefits, has a less paperwork. So less paperwork, as every information is available online, there is very less need for paperwork. All the required information is available with a click of few buttons. There is no need to have an offline record of the securities by the corporate or the investor. Also, there is no risk of theft or loss, as there is no risk of the securities getting damaged because it is in soft copies. Now the next one is no bad deliveries. Before the electronic method, the investor has to purchase securities without the full knowledge of the securities bought. However, the NSDL has made this problem disappear as the information about the securities is fully displayed on site, and there is no question of them being under objection. So the possibility of bad delivery is eliminated. Now the next point is non-cash benefit transfer. So in this point, NSDL has the option of transferring non-cash benefits such as bonus right to the investor account. As this operation happens online, there is no need of paperwork and transfer happens through a secure payment gateway. Next point is stamp duty consideration. In this point, most securities require the need of stamp duty when there is a transfer or sale. However, electronic transfer of securities through the depository method does not require stamp duty. Now another one. So these are the some of the benefit that NSDL offer to the participant, and it also provide three types of services such as basic services. In basic services, they provide the NSDL offers basic services such as an account maintenance, transfer for trade settlements, nomination, and many more. The Depository Act defines the basic services of the NSDL. Now, in the three services, the next basic service, now second one is value added services. So in value added services, the NSDL also offers the value added services of hypothecation and pledge, lending of stocks, online services such as SPD, IDAS, distribution of cash, non-cash, corporate benefits, and many more services. It also includes a system that allows brokers to transfer contract notes to fund managers and custodians via online. This service is called STEADY, STEADY, and has been an NSDL indispensable services since 13th November 2002. NSDL Consolidated Account Statement, that is CAS. NSDL, that is the third service, basic service, value added service, and NSDL CAS, Consolidated Account Statement. It is a statement that offers investor the information about the securities owned by them. It helps the investor to keep track of their investment portfolio and make information financial investments in the future.